Howdy gang, lovely to see you all again. Today we're going to be looking at Killing Road by Megadeth. It's pretty damn win, so set yourself up for a delightful ride. Let's take a look. One thing I should mention about the song is it's not quite in E flat tuning. It's E flat but slightly sharper. So use those as a reference if you can. Apologies, it is a little bit difficult. It might be sort of E flat and a quarter sharper. So do what you can and we'll get cracking on the solo. Okay, let's take a look at the first section. I'm going to start off with a slide into 9 of the 5th string for sort of what would be an F sharp major arpeggio. So I'm sliding into 9 and then I hit 8 of the 4th, 6 of the 3rd and then 7 of the 2nd. And then from there I want to go to 5 of the 2nd and then jump to 6 of the 3rd. Okay, then I'm just going to borrow that initial triad again, so the first 3 notes of that arpeggio. Okay, and then at the end of that, after I've hit 6 of the 3rd, I want to play 7 and then 9 on the same string. Okay, then after I've done that, I work into this. So what I'm doing here, so I slide from 9 to 11 and then play 9 and 7 as single notes. Okay, then after that I do a hammer on into a pull off, 7, 9, 7, so hammer on in and out, and then I play 6 of the 3rd string twice. What? Actually we're only playing that 6 once, aren't we? Okay, so after your 7, 9, 7, hammer on into a pull off, just a single 6 on the 3rd string. Then I go, this is where we have the 2. I'm going 6, 7, 6 as a hammer on into a pull off, and then I play 2 4s. So thus far of this new little slidey trilly section. Okay, then at the end of that I go, so what I'm doing here is a hammer on from 3 to 4, and then just playing 3 on the 3rd string. And adding some gentlemanly vibrato at the end of that. So let's try the whole thing a little bit slow from the start. Alright, let's take a look at the second section. I want to slide from 3 to 6 on the 3rd string, and then hit the 6th when I get there. And I want to do the same thing from 6 to 11, sliding in and then hitting it again. Okay, so from when I get to the 11, I want to do a hammer on to 12 on the same string, and I do a bend with my pointer on 11 of the 2nd string. And I work into this phrase. Let's take that a little bit slower, so I'm going, which is 14, 12, 11, 12 on the 2nd string. Then what I want to do there is hit the 12 again and then do a bit of a trilly hammer-on pull-off idea. So I'm playing 12, 14, 12, 11 all in one pick. So nice and slow. You'll notice I hit the 12 twice in the middle there. Okay, then at the end of that phrase, I want to go back to the 12. So let's go from the start, the slidey bit, nice and slow. Okay, then we work into this. Let's slow this down. I'm going to start from 11 of the 3rd. I'm doing a hammer on from 12 to 14 on the 2nd. Okay, and then I go, so that's a hammer on into a pull off from 10 to 14, back to 10 on the 1st string. then at the end of that I go. So what I'm doing there is a pull off from 14 to 12 on the second, then I go to 11 of the third, and then back down to 12 of the second. So nice and slow. Okay, let's put that whole last little chunk together. Alright, let's try the whole section nice and slow. Okay, let's take a look at the third section. I'm going to start off, this is a pretty hilarious stretch, be patient with this one. I'm going to pull off from 11 to 6 on the third, and then I'm hitting 8 of the fourth. I want to do that idea, that little arpeggio twice. And then I just resolve that back on the pinky on 11. And a similar idea rhythmically. What I'm doing here is a pull off from 15 to 11 on the third, and then I'm just using a flat pointer here to hit 11 of the fourth. So I'm doing that whole idea twice, and then resolving it back to that 15 on the pinky. So thus far. And naturally, I guess from moving your pinky over, you're going to get a slight slide sound. It's got a bit of charm to it. Anyway, there goes. What I'm doing here is a pull off from the second string, 14 to 11, and then that flat pointer hitting 11 of the third string. And once again, I do this twice, and then resolve it to the pinky. So thus far. Okay, then I go. Now this one actually ends on the pull off. So I go. What I'm doing here is a pull off from 17 to 14 on the second, and then 15 of the third. So I do that twice. And at the end of that, I actually do the 17 to 14. So instead of ending on the pinky, I end on the pull off on this one. So I go. Thus far. On that pull off. One more time, a little slower. God damn it. Yes. Alright, I got it right. So then it goes. Let's slow that down. I want to start from 15 to the second string. I'm going 15, 17, 15, 14 on the second. And then I go to 16 of the third string with my ring. So most of that is just hammer-on. So I'm going 15, 17, 15, 14, all in one pick, and then obviously when I change strings I need to pick that third string. And then I play the 14 of the second, and then I want to resolve that little phrase on 14 of the second string. So all together, and then it does exactly the same thing again. So I'm starting from the middle, 15, 17, 15, 14. And then I want to go to 15 of the third string with my middle finger this time. So back to back we're going to go. Okay, then at the end of that it goes. So once again we're just running through that little hammer-on idea. So it's going 15, 17, 15, 14. So nice and slow from the start of that little group. Okay, then after that we work into these little sweeps. Let's start from the start of that. So I've got, I guess, what would be our very, very high G major in standard tuning. I'm playing 17, 16, 15, and then sliding that 15 note back a fret to 14 on the second string. So 17 of the fourth, 16 of the third, and then that 15, 14 slide on the second. Obviously at full speed we'll need to sweep that. So the second group would be an F sharp major. I'm playing 16 of the fourth, 15 of the third, 14 of the second, and then sliding that to 12. And then the last one goes. So this is kind of, I guess, what would be an E minor. I'm playing 14 of the fourth, and then a flat finger across 12 of the third and the second. What I'm doing here is a hammer on from the bottom of that sweep. It's going 12, 14, then pulling off back to the 12. So I go. At the end of that I go. So what I'm doing here is playing 14 of the fourth, 12 of the third, 14 of the fourth, 11 of the third. Let's take that slowly from the sweepy things, then we'll try and put the whole thing together. Alright, start of the section nice and slow. take a look at section 4. I'm going to start from 15 to the first string, and I'm going to do a pull off 15, 14, 12, and then I want to pluck 14, so I go. Okay, and then we're going to borrow that little legato idea one more time, just the 3 notes. So we've got, hopefully that's making sense, and then we work into this little chromatic run. So nice and slow, I'm playing 12, and then 14, 13, 12 on the first, and then just a straight chromatic from 15 to 12 on the second string. So it'll go 15, 14, 13, 12. So from the start, nice and slow. Okay, then it works into this. Let's take this slowly. I'm playing 14, 15, 14, 13 on the second string, and then I go, so that last little chunk is going 14, 13, 12 on the second, and then resolving to 14 of the third string. So nice and slow. Let's take it from the start of the section nice and slow, and then we'll add the last little pentatonic-y chunk. So I go. Hopefully that's making sense, and then we're working to this. So it's got a nice little bend at the start, up and back. So we want to do 17 to the first string, and after that I'm just working up a basic F sharp minor pentatonic. So I bring it up, and then as soon as I bring it down to the regular 17, I'm playing 14 of the first, and then 17, 14 on the second. Then I do a very, very similar idea from the second string, bend the 17 up, and then bring it back and play it as a regular note. Then I play 14 of the second, and then after that I'm playing 16, 14 on the third string, so I go. At the end of that, what I'm doing there is just a cool vibrato idea on 16 of the third, so. And that's all of the fourth section. Let's try it nice and slow. Alright, let's look at section 5. This is the last chunk that Marty does before Dave takes over and, let's say, semi-ruins the whole thing. So let's have a look at this. We're going to start from 18 of the first string. We're going to pull off from 18 to 14 and then playing 14 of the second string. I'm going to be sort of doing a callback, I guess, to group 3. We're working with those arpeggio ideas with the pull-offs, and the sort of the phrasing of it's very similar. So I'm doing a pull-off from 18 to 14 on the first, and then playing 14 of the second. I want to do that twice, and then like what we had before, just ending on that pinky. Okay, very similar idea over here. I'm pulling off from 21 to 18 of the first, and then playing 19 of the second. I do that twice, and then jump back to that 21 with the pinky. So once again, we're ending on the pinky. Okay, then I go back to a bit of a diminished idea here. I'm doing a pull off from 15 to 12 on the first, and then 14 of the second. Once again, we're doing it twice, and then resolving back to that pinky note, which happens to be on 15. Okay, then we're going back to the first one, which was the 18, 14, 14 one. So I guess the first and the fourth arpeggio are the same in this. Okay, then I work towards something sort of a little bit more A minor-y. What I've got here is 19 to 15 on the first string, and then 17 to the second. Once again, doing it twice and going back to the pinky. Okay, then after that, I want to do this one exactly the same as kind of what we had in that other situation where we actually end on the pull-off. So I'm going 22, 19, and then playing 20 of the second string. So I do the same thing twice, and then I want to end on the 22, 19 pull-off. Let's try what we've got thus far, nice and slow. Cool, and then we work into this. Let's slow that down. I've got to pull off from 24 to 19. And then I play 20 of the second string. And then I slide from 19 to 15. So nice and slow. Okay, from when I slide back to that 15, it'll go. So I slide back from the 15, hammer to 19, pull off back to the 15, and then resolve to the 17. So it'll go. Okay, so that's that first little chunk, and then it'll go. Let's get the arpeggio out of the way, and then we'll deal with those weird dual bends. So, borrowing this arpeggio one more time, I'm playing 19 to 15 as a pull-off, 17 at the second. Then I slide from 15 to 12. Now when I get to that 12, I want to hammer in and out. So it's going to go 12, 15, 12 as I hammer on into a pull-off. Okay, then I'm going to roll that pointer to 12 of the second string. At the end of that, I'm doing a big bend on 17 of the second string with a little bit of vibrato. So the whole thing thus far. We'll work into this. All I'm doing there is playing 14 of the first string and 17 of the second. Sounds a bit gross when you start off, but then we just bend that ring finger or whatever you're using up a full tone, and then we sort of get a natural chorus effect with that. So I'm playing 14 and 17 with that bend idea. I'm just bringing it up one fret at a time, 5 times in a row. So it goes 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And also that ring finger bend will follow 3 frets up from what you're doing. I was ending on 18 and 21. So let's try the whole section from the start, nice and slow. Whoa. Okay, let's take a look at section 6. I want to start from 22 of the first string. I'm going to do 3 slowish bends. And then 3 quick ones. At the end of that, I just want to bring it down to 22 and give it a bit of vibrato. Okay, then after that, I work into this phrase. So let's slow that down. I want to be playing 20 to 22 on the first string, and then 19 to 20 on the first. And then I jump to 22 with the second, and then back down to 19 with my pointer. Cool. And then I jump to the second string, and it goes 20, 22, and then 19, 20. But this time the ring, when I jump up a string, goes to 21 of the third string. So I go. And then I jump back down to, what's that, 19 of the second string. So nice and slow. At the end of that, a light vibrato on 21 of the third string. So let's have a look at what we've got thus far, nice and slow. Work into this. Let's slow that down. I'm going 14, 15, 17 on the first. Then I bend that 17. Then I bring it down, which is going 17, 15 of the first, and then I will resolve with a nice vibrato on 18 of the second string. So delightful. We're very, very close, and we've just got this. So what I'm doing here is a pull-off 12, 11 to 10 on the first string, and I jump to 12 of the second string, and then back down to 10 of the first. Cool, then it goes. So pretty much the same idea from the second string to the third. I'm playing 12, 11, 10 as a pull-off into 12 of the third. Then at the end of that I go. What I'm doing here is a hammer on from 10 to 11 back to 10 as a hammer on into a pull-off. And then I play 12, 9 on the third. So all together. That's the whole thing. So let's try it from the start of the bends, nice and slow. And that's the solo to Killing Road. Hope you guys have enjoyed that. I will be starting Floods by Pantera very soon. You can stop harassing me, you pesky dicks. I'll see you soon.